I almost let my ex-boyfriend kill me. This will be a long post, but I'm finally ready to talk. I was freshly out of school, 17. I had a whole life ahead of me, got accepted into university, and was ready to start my medical degree. I was happy and excited and ready to conquer the world. Until I met whom I am going to call D, 22. I didn't know at the time how different my life would change. Like if I could turn back the clock, I would have told my younger self not to go near him, don't talk to him, he would ruin my life and blame me for it. He will control you, segregate you, gaslight you, abuse you, etc. I met D through my parents. He was a neighbor. We lived on a property in a small town in far north Queensland. He was a typical young farmer guy, cattle, working dogs, like a beer at the pub after work. We started dating after my 18th birthday. My parents were happy for us. The start is always a honeymoon period. This was my first serious relationship. We moved in together about a year after dating. Everything was going great. We even built a new house together on the property, and that's when it all turned sour. I wanted to be a doctor so bad. D had this irrational fear that I would take him for everything he had if we ever broke up, a weird fear to have. I helped him on the farm a lot, but I would never be able to run it on my own, so I would never take it from him. He became very possessive, wouldn't like me going to work or uni, and said he would rather that I make myself useful by helping him on the farm more than playing doctor with my friends. I helped him when I wasn't studying or working or at uni. I lived a busy life, and I was very committed to learning. I'm a uni student, textbooks are on the table, messy laptop cords, chargers, etc. I was 2 years into my studies by this stage, and his mum would always comment on how messy my house was. It wasn't dirty. She would always make me feel inadequate to the point where she would say I should be staying at home cleaning this house every day. D would do nothing to stop her from saying that, or he would agree with her. I felt terrible. I'd stay up late and clean the house top to toe, getting barely 3 hours of sleep every night before I would have to get back up and either go to work or uni. It was tiring. D never helped me clean the house or do his dirty washing. I never signed up to be a housemaid. Things got much worse when my parents left town to travel. D gave me options to drop out of uni or leave him. I had no place to go. My parents sold their house, and I was alone, with no family, uni friends who barely made ends meet at times and didn't bother them. I didn't make enough to live independently and pay for everything else. I barely made ends meet living with him. One day I was getting ready for work. He stole and snapped my car keys, both. The spare and the one on my keyring. I couldn't get to work, and he forced me with a knife at my throat to call in sick. After that, he smashed my phone. That was the first time he'd lashed out. Eventually, this happened so often that I was fired, and my grades at uni slipped until I was forced to drop out. I never knew a low till then. 2 years on, I worked as a slave in my own home. My only happiness was my dogs, cat, and bird. I couldn't relax. I was on my feet after him, cleaning after him, attending to his every need, all his meals, washing, scrubbing his shit off the toilet bowl every day. If I didn't clean the house properly, he would force feed me peanuts. I'm highly allergic, which would cause me to have a life-threatening allergic reaction. I never went outside. My parents would call. I would have to say everything was okay, or he would threaten to kill me if I complained once. I forgot to clean the toilet one day. When he got home, he filled up the bathtub, grabbed me, and pushed me in to try to drown me. By this time, I had no fight left. I had lost everything I loved, my job, my degree, my studies, and my friends. I had nothing left, and I never fought back. I was about to black out, and he lifted my head and yelled some foul, disgusting words at me, and that's when everything went black. I had a small fork in my pants from feeding dogs that morning. You may have been thinking I was your typical small-framed woman. Small-framed I was, but I was strong. We get trained at uni to disarm and restrain mentally unstable patients. Except my mentally unstable patient was my so-called boyfriend. Funny that. I stabbed him in the stomach, it barely broke his skin. They don't teach us this at uni. Restrained him with all my force, the neck hold technique, and then slowly choked him out till he stopped moving. I burst into tears. I had never wanted to harm a human before. I wanted to help people. I checked his vital signs, and there's a P. She's still alive. I took his keys from his jacket and stole his car. Drove to town looking for any uni friends at their jobs. Nope, he graduated and changed jobs. I thought I was done for. I was a criminal now, as was he. I walked back to his car, then I heard my name. I turned to a girl from high school. I barely knew her, but she looked happy to see me, and I just cried. So relieved. She thought it was weird that I was calling any sane person who hadn't been locked in a house for 2 years would judge at first glance. I explained, and she took me to her place. I told her about my car, my job, dropping out of uni, the daily beatings, the drowning, the stabbing, everything. She promised to get me out and kept that promise. We decided the best thing was to get the police involved. They showed up and allowed me to move out of my life while they questioned him safely. My friend was there to help me move. We shoved all my belongings into garbage bags and put them into her little Kia hatchback. My car was lifted onto a tow truck and taken to a mechanic to have the keys replaced. The police then questioned me. Basically, in the end, they told me there was no evidence as I was an adult and could leave if I wanted to. After hearing that they were doing nothing, I decided I needed to do one thing before going. I took a shit after 2 years of scrubbing his dirty stinking shit off his toilet. I smeared mine all over his bathroom. As disgusting as that sounds, I thought it was the right thing to do at the time. We left. I got a new phone, and my car got fixed. My parents were shocked and disgusted by what happened while away and moved back. We drove south with cooler weather and better opportunities. I see a therapist once a month to talk about what happened and I'm healing. I'm now a qualified doctor, and I have a fantastic boyfriend who is also a doctor after 4 years. I got in touch with friends from uni and gathered my life back. I still have flashbacks and faded memories sometimes, but they slowly disappear. My job is so rewarding. I'm going to look at studying mental health in the future when I'm finally ready. Last I heard of my ex, he lost his farm to bankruptcy. His new wife left him with the kids and his cruiser. It couldn't happen to a better person. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you know anyone being abused, please speak up and say something or call a helpline before it's too late.